So today we'll be doing this monochromatic orange look. I hope you enjoy, and if you haven't done so yet, do subscribe at the bottom. So let's begin with the skin, and what I'm going to do is prep the skin first with the Givenchy Mr. Smooth. I'm going to just evenly distribute this in the center of the face. Now I have really large pores, so I have to use primer. And today I will be using this new product that I just purchased, which is from Maybelline. It is called Fit Me, and it is the Matte+Poreless number 228. And I will be using the Sephora Pro Airbrush in number 56. And I like it because it's very dense and you're able to build your foundation. I also like to go a little tad bit shade lighter than my normal skin tone, just because if you're a little bit more on the oilier side, what tends to happen is your foundation oxidizes and it gets a little too dark throughout the day. Now just on this area, my little friend Pita is going to get a little bit more coverage. So after you apply your foundation, I would like to go ahead and go over our Instant Age Rewind Dark Circle Eraser. It is from Maybelline as well, number 150. It does work as a highlight underneath the eye area. I don't personally have dark circles. You want to make sure that you're always hydrating and drinking a lot of water. But I do love this because it has this applicator at the top of it, which is easy to apply. So you want to just do a couple clicks. And you want to just apply it on the highest points of the cheek and also down at the bridge of the nose. And I'm going to go ahead and take my Sephora number 57 Airbrush Concealer. And this also has that dense synthetic fibers on there, so it's really good at blending. And I just like to go over the with my foundation brush again to blend it out along the edges. And after that, what you want to do is set it with a powder. And today I will be using a discontinued product by Laura Mercier. It is a powder foundation in number 7. This was my friend and I's favorite powder foundation. I felt that it kept us very matte. Living in Southern California, you tend to get a little bit more oily with the heat. So this was one of our favorites, and it actually lasts very long. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my MAC 134 brush, and I love this brush because it's very fluffy and it's able to distribute that product evenly. And what I like to do is, it is a lot of coverage, so you want to just lightly apply it onto the skin, and then also lightly grab that product and then blend just in those areas where you want to keep it matte. I was going to conceal Peter, but you know what? I'm okay with him being there. So now I'm going to go ahead and use our Shade Light by Kat Von D. I'm going to set my highlighter on the bottom here with, use this one in the middle. This is the MAC 116 brush. I use this for my highlighter and my blush, and my contour, or a little bit of my highlight. So just grab a little bit of the product on the tip of the brush, and then set right underneath the eye area here where you placed that Maybelline Dark Circle highlighter. Just a little bit on the bridge of the nose to highlight. My mom always makes fun of me because I have this little tomato cherry nose, and she always tells me to get it done. I'm like, no, mother, I love my nose. And then what we'll do Let's take a little bit of the MAC bronzing powder. It is Solar Riche. This is actually a limited product, and as you can see, I've used most of it up. And I'm going to take my 168 brush by MAC. It is an angled brush, and it's also very dense, so you're able to grab that product and really buff into the skin. As all makeup artists do, they do the number 3 and the E. So you want to get close to the hairline right here, up above. What I like to do is feel where that cheekbone area is. It even helps to do the little kissy face. And go right below. Voila. Bronze. Jello. And you can go back to that Kat Von D palette. And I like to use this middle one right here. And if you want more of an intense contour, it'd be great to kind of lightly just dab the tip of the brush. And then use that tip to draw this line, and then you can buff it out. But I'm going to go ahead and use this middle one. And then I also like to go over that powder brush that I use, the 134 from MAC, and use that excess product to blend it out. I'm going to go ahead and go over the blush. And this is also another limited product by MAC. It is Ripe Peach. One color that's similar to it would be Melba or Peaches from MAC. I absolutely love this color. As you can see, I think this is like my going through my second one. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take my 116 brush. And I'm going to go and use Melon. I'm also going to use it for the eyes, but I would like to use it again for my highlight. And I'm going to grab my fan brush here. I got this from the art store, and I believe it's actually Michael's. It's a Simply Simmons number 2 fan brush. I like to use fan brushes for my highlight, just because it evenly distributes the product. Ooh, it's a lot of product. Oh, it's getting all over my brushes. Just go up here. I'm not typically a highlight person. I don't like to use a lot of frost and shimmer just because, again, I do have larger pores. It tends to accentuate the pores a little bit more when you're using frosted or really, really high shimmer pigmented products on your cheeks. Bridge of the nose. And Cupid's bow. Now if you want to contour the nose, you can do that as well. I'm going to use a 224 brush. Normally I would do the Studio Fix, probably an NC 45 or something that's slightly darker than your skin tone to make it look natural, but I don't have that around me right now, so I'm going to use this middle one. Alright, so now what you want to do is set your foundation and all your powder, you set your face basically. And I'm going to use the Aura CC Mist Fixer. I get this from the Korean shop. I think it's Korean. Back in California, it's called Face Shop. So again, it's the Aura CC Mist Fixer, and it smells very good. Now, it just sets everything, and it makes that powder look not so powdery. Now I'm going to go ahead and go over my brows. And I like to take a little spoolie first and brush them upwards. And today I'm going to be using medium brown and taupe dip brow from Anastasia. I like to use 2 colors just because the medium brown really defines it for me, and the taupe helps to fill in those areas that need a little bit more product but you don't want it to look so dark. So I like to mix both of them. Otherwise, if I'm like just doing a natural eyebrow, I just maybe like to use a little bit of the medium brown and then just keep brushing it up with your spoolie to make it look more natural and to blend it out. What I also like to use is the ooh, my numbers are missing. 263? I believe it's 263. And it's from MAC. And I'm going to start off with the medium brown. So what I like to do is not to dip straight through the product, just because this tends to make your brush frail. And so what you want to do is grab some of the product and then using the rim to take off the excess product. And it also gives you that thin layer, and it'll give you a thinner application as well. Now, I like to start at the bottom right over here. You want to follow, we like to follow the shape of your brow. Otherwise, I'm lucky enough to have brows. I actually shaved them when I was younger, so don't ever do that. Thick brows are in right now, so keep them thick. Do not shave them. But you want to follow the shape of your brow. Just like that. And then brush upwards, following the hairs. Now, I sometimes like to draw it out at the top of the brow as well to give it more definition. And then just brush it up with a spoolie. And if you notice here, I'm kind of lighter at the upper brow arch. So I just like to grab a little bit of product, which it's the medium brown, and then just blend a little bit. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot. Normally I would do this first before I apply my brows. It is a shaper slash primer for the eyebrows. It is by NYX. I just purchased this the other day and I actually really like it when I'm not planning on doing my brows at all. So I just kind of draw it in after my foundation and it accentuates it just a little bit without having to use other products. Now I just apply that on. I did that in the midst of everything else that I needed to do for my brows. But I'm going to go over the taupe, or I'm going to do just a little bit to fill in on these other areas. Probably just at the higher points of the brow. Keep paper towel on handy to remove excess product off your brush. What I like to do is use concealer underneath my brow to create that definition and more of that arch and to define it. And I use my broken beat up 266, I believe, 263 brush from MAC with the NW20 Studio Finish Concealer from MAC as well. You can go a little lighter if you like, or a little darker, but I like the NW20 on myself. Sometimes I don't even use a powdered highlighter. I just use the concealer as my highlighter. I do an extra step, I think, from everybody else. They usually just go with it with concealer brush, but I like to do my angled brush first and then go with my 242 brush, or is it 243? 242 from MAC, and then blend it out. And I'm going to take the 252 brush by MAC. This is a concealer brush, and I love this because it grabs cream products very well. So I'm going to just grab a little bit of the Painterly Paint Pot by MAC as your primer for your eyes. And now let's go ahead and start with the eyes. I'm going to do soft brown first. I didn't use the highlighter, but if you do want to, you can use vanilla from MAC. I use Creamy Bisque because it's my favorite at the moment, or actually for a while now. This is also a limited product. I changed my mind, we'll use a highlighter. And I like to go with my 224 MAC brush with soft brown. It's easy to see where to place the product as well when you're looking directly into your mirror. Sometimes, it's good to close your eyes, but I personally like to keep them open so that you're able to see where to place that crease color, and you can do it right in the socket of the eye. So we start at the corner here. I'm just doing like a V and pulling the color in. I call it precious moment eyes when it droops down like this. All right. So now what you want to do is take a darker, warmer toned eyeshadow, and I'm going to use MAC's Brown Script, my other favorite warm tone color slash crease color slash all over color. Amazing. I'm going to use a little bit of that. Same brush, I'm going to use the 224 from MAC. So why not just layer all the products together. 252 brush from MAC, and then just clean up right here. See? Actually. Now I also like to use Motif as a blending color in between the highlights. This right here is Motif. It's like an iridescent pinky color, so it's really nice to use like as a highlight here. It's nice to blend in between colors, which from the highlight and the crease color. So I usually like to take my 224 and then lightly blend in between. You'll have that nice iridescent pink. And if you want to, you can also use it a little bit there. So now I'm going to go ahead and use Melon Pigment from MAC. This is not a limited product. You can actually buy this now, I think. I'm pretty sure. And I'm going to use a flat brush, which is a 239 from MAC. Grab a little bit of product. I guess a lot. And I like to use my spritzer, my setting spray, onto the brush. This actually gives it more pigmentation, and it helps to really grab that product and give more of that vibrant tone. And you want to keep it as low as possible, just where the lid is. I like to use my finger to kind of diffuse that color. You don't want any harsh pigmented lines. And then go back to that 224 brush. I usually just brush it onto a paper towel to get rid of that excess color and excess product. And then I go back into my soft brown. neutral swirl, and then just blend right where the crease area is. So it looks more blended in right here. And it doesn't have that harsh line of the melon pigment. Curl my lashes, and this is my MAC eyelash curler. And today I'm going to use the rest of my Smoky Lash mascara from Makeup Forever. Not really my favorite mascara. I'm still an Ico fan, but I did not want to open it because I have plenty of mascaras to go through. Just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Now I like to put mascara on first before I put my lashes on. Now you can also add mascara after you put your lashes, but I don't know, I just like to save my fake lashes and not put mascara on them because I feel like it ruins them. Let's go ahead and do some eyelashes, and what I'm going to do is use a little bit of a duo. I usually, when I do my weddings or I'm doing in clients' makeup, I like to have the duo sit for a little bit to get it really tacky. But in this case, I usually, myself, just put it directly onto my lashes. These are my favorites. They're actually the D-WSPYs. I get them from Namie's in LA. With my years of doing makeup, I've noticed people just go literally directly straight into their eye like this. And I'm like, that's not how you do it. So you want to place the duo onto the lashes. Just a little bit of product. I focus a little bit more too on the outer edges of the lashes because that's where it tends to lift. So what you want to do is tilt your head back, look straight into the mirror. In this case, my mirror's right here. And you want to also angle your lashes down like this so that you're able to just plop it down to the lash line. Now, it doesn't really matter, like that's completely fine. You can move it around. Some people like to use tweezers. I personally don't, just because it is such a sharp object that I do not want to keep around my eye. And then you can play around with it. Just pull it from one side first, and then use your 2 fingers to press down. And then do the same at the other. Also, you want to cut your lashes before you apply them and put your duo on them in case they are too long. You want to cut them, otherwise it'll keep poking you throughout the day and it'll feel very uncomfortable. I'm not going to use eyeliner. I want to keep this very simple. And just like that. And then I kind of use my 2 fingers, my thumb and my pointer finger, and then just press them together. And I also want to lightly push it right where the lash line is. There you go. There goes your lashes. I'm going to go ahead and do an orange lip. And I'm going to use NYX It is called Orange number 824. I'll start at the inner corners of the mouth. It's always good to use a lip liner when you're doing a bold lip so that it doesn't bleed, nor does it look like it's not shaped well. So you want to always use a liner to really shape the lips. I'm going to use MAC's Lady Danger. It is a matte texture, so it stays on quite long. And there you have your monochromatic orange. How's that? No? Peter, go away. Let me tell you, it's really hard recording yourself because this in and out focus thing is so difficult. Whew.